chased it for years.
Stop. Don't want to hear something. It's ConvoTime. This is the show where we talk about anything and everything that has to do with young adults. As per usual, I'm your host with the most, Loretta. I'll do it again. Y'all gotta hype me. I hype you guys. Y'all gotta hype me. Oh, you're hyping me. Well done. Can you imagine? As usual, I'm your hostess with the mostest, Loretta.
Hey girl.
Whatever. I've got the beautiful Lauren Care with me.
Hey,
how you doing, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
Cool. I'm good. I've got the gorgeous Ayo.
Hey.
Hi. I love the yellow today. Just
Thank
pop,
you.
pop. No unicorns on the t-shirt? No
unfortunately.
unusual sayings?
No, I couldn't
My
get
girl's
it
a
today.
unicorn, apparently. We'll come back to that later. Seems we've got Wally in the building. Where's Wally?
Wally's here.
We found
We
Wally!
just need the glasses in the house.
My guy Topstar, how you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm good.
How
I
you
can't wait
feeling?
for this convo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Today's gonna be a good day.
It's gonna be a deadly day.
It's gonna be a good day.
Both of us will die on the line.
Deadly life.
I will not die in Jesus' name. I will live to
So it seems you already know what's on my mind. I think because we were talking about it already. Like, how you feeling about the whole? So basically, yeah, for y'all, there's been we'll not call it an uproar, not really an uproar, but people have been talking about this news feed. Is it news?
Yeah.
You can call it that.
Of a young lady that recently got married and did not want to kneel down at her traditional wedding.
Taboo.
Toby says it's a
I
taboo.
feel like you're being a bit dramatic.
Okay, we're gonna kick off now. 1, 2, 3, go.
Ladies first, so yeah, go.
Why is it taboo?
Because okay, let's repeat that statement. A young lady who wanted to have a traditional wedding but felt like she didn't want to kneel for her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you doing the traditional wedding in the first place?
Okay,
If you don't want to do Ashawa, don't want to do it, we're not begging you to come. Go and do your white wedding. Wear your white gown. Wear suit. Marry. You be sure. To be honest with you, I'm sure this happened in the western part of the world. They don't even give certificates after traditional wedding. It's the white wedding that they give them.
It's just family.
The legal, the real. Like, okay, my question is, does she actually understand the whole idea of traditional
Wait,
wedding?
you say they don't give certificates, so you're telling me before the British came to Nigeria that traditional weddings were not recognized as the main marriage?
Oh no, we recognized it.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
why I said Ashawa.
Yeah, you said exactly. You said Ashawa, but like, are you trying to say because she's not wanting to partake in this one aspect of the traditional wedding that she should not get to justify the rest of her wedding as a traditional wedding?
Okay, I'll throw that question back at you.
Uh-huh.
When she's getting married in the court, why can't she decide to tell them that apart from her saying her vow with her husband, that part where they say, do you take this person, she wants to say it herself? Why does the registrar have to always say it?
Not even say
Why can't she say, no, we want to say the whole thing, you just stand in front of us and we'll sign the paper in front of you?
I'm pretty sure she could if she
No,
wanted
you
to.
can't.
Why?
You can't. You're only allowed to choose your vows. Go and check it. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying.
why? Tell me why.
Because that's how it is. It's like in court. Like, it's like basically you saying you're in court and let's say your lawyer who is meant to be representing you. You know that part where they say objection, my lord. And you that are the person that is in court, you now go objection. Why is this objection? Like, cause you want to, I feel like, see, rules and regulations are set in place for a reason.
Okay, so what is that reason? What is the reason
Okay,
in the tradition?
See, the whole idea of a traditional, it's a very, very important thing. And that's why no matter how much Western we become, people still understand the value of this.
I think we need to first of all define what tradition
Yes,
is.
from Please define tradition. I'm watching. I'm loving this.
So, tradition is a belief or a behavior passed down within a group or society with a symbolic meaning or special significance with origins in the past. Okay, now what is culture?
What she always does for us.
Snap.
So that's symbolic.
Culture. What's culture, my lady?
Culture is the ideas, costumes, and social behavior of a particular people or society.
Okay, so tradition.
Okay.
Can we now say based on the definition of tradition, that she had a traditional marriage without one key aspect.
It's symbolic aspects.
The word symbolic is there.
So I believe that, I personally think we can still say that because there's so many different aspects of a traditional wedding that like one part is not the whole thing. Personally speaking, I believe we can still say that. And talking about the symbolicism of the act, she did something adverse because she also had a symbolic reason behind it. The only thing that I cannot say is what was it, like something about the past, like rooted in the past or whatever it said, and like that's the only part that I cannot defend. But then it did say moving from generation,
special significance with origins in the past.
So it began in the past.
So like she is essentially evolving the tradition for herself because this is something that is happening now, but in the future will be the past, and maybe she doesn't want her future generations to participate in something that she doesn't believe.
But then it's not a traditional wedding because she's taking what's done in the past out of it.
But I think it's an evolution.
Sure, she's just okay.
That's not a traditional wedding.
Because this is one part of it. This is not the whole thing. I don't understand. So why? That's why I'm asking. Why is it this one symbolic thing
but
that you guys, that everybody is like hyping on?
But why do you kneel down? Thing is core
to what though?
To the tradition.
Okay, why do we kneel down?
Yeah, that's the question.
The kneeling down part. Why it's core is
let's let them answer.
Okay, sorry, answer.
You ask
why do we kneel down?
I'm the one that wants to know.
No, she wants to know.
Okay, so if you want to know,
asking, she wants to know.
You're questioning it.
Yeah,
you're
why
not
she
saying
kneeled
it's
down?
not a symbolic part. We're clarifying that.
Yeah.
Okay,
so it is symbolic because it is what is done in tradition, and the traditional reason for it is a sign. It's simple. It's a sign of respect. In past times, like the definition rightly says, in the past, traditionally speaking, that is your way of showing respect to your husband and his family.
That the Bible say honor your husband.
I feel like that. I don't think that is a thing that you can say because somebody does that they're honorable.
Okay, see,
this is what we're saying. See, this is what you're saying. That's not what you feel that it's honorable. It's not honorable. We have justified. I'm holding on to this definition of tradition, right? We have just defined what tradition is, right? It is there's a symbolic meaning to what what she has omitted to do.
Yes.
Right? She's taken out something that has a symbolic meaning.
Okay.
That symbolic meaning is a sign of respect. Regardless of what you believe a sign of respect should be, in the past it was seen as a sign of respect. So it was attached to a traditional wedding. So when you are not doing a traditional wedding now and you're taking the symbolism out of it, what are you doing?
I think it comes down to what like you feel like the symbols are. So she obviously
you can't feel like a symbol is something. They have defined what the symbol is.
Okay. Can we look at another part of the traditional wedding?
Yeah,
like
for
when
example,
the man carries the woman. Are you saying that she's weak?
Is that a symbolic thing in the wedding?
I'm glad you guys
because if we break down all of the different parts, because I don't know all the different parts of a traditional wedding. I'm glad you guys
mentioned that part, right? And I remember
she's chopping that.
I've gone to weddings where I'm a funny guy for those who don't know, and when the wife is big in size and the husband is really tiny, I'm like, what happens when he tries to carry her? You know, do they just
don't worry, they would have practiced. I'm sure they would have practiced
that
beforehand.
part and all. See, no, the idea is, I feel like what is wrong with taking out this whole kneeling down is the fact that a lot of people feel like I want to tailor the tradition to suit me, without trying to understand
what's
the
behind
importance of the tradition. Like, you need, for example, like, I know people who get married, right, and they'll just be like, okay, like, I'm not married yet, so I don't know, but I'll actually throw this question back to you.
Oh, wow.
Like, whereby they'll do the whole traditional thing, but they don't really understand how important it is. Like, when my friend got married, do you know the food and the stuff you prepare for the wife's family?
Yeah.
Me being a joker, I saw yam there. I was like, this yam will be good this night, I'll be tomorrow morning. So I had to carry the yam. Now someone, and I was wearing something that was part of I was from the grooms, because I was wearing the groomsmen's agbada and all that. So someone saw me do it, and his wife's mom was like throwing a tantrum, and I was like, it's only one yam. I didn't even carry the whole thing.
For the one girl's family.
But that's what I'm trying to say. To me, it's not that deep. It is deep. It's very important.
Yes.
Like, you know, I broke two traditions like that wedding.
Like you've rightly said, I think a lot of people, because right now, especially in our generation, it seems like we do things for the fact that
it's beautiful on Instagram.
It's nice on Instagram. Yeah, that's one. And then it's what has been always done. So we don't understand why it's been always done. We just see it as what's been always done. And because it's always been done, a lot of people in this generation now are questioning, oh, sure, just because they used to do it doesn't mean I have to do it. But you don't know why they used to do it and you don't want to find out. And all you see is, oh, it looks like it's weird, so I'm not going to do it. Or I believe this now, so I'm not going to do that. Actually,
sorry to cut you short. If you want to take out a tradition, right, can we also decide to take you out of our tradition and tell you that what you're doing is your own thing and not our tradition? Is that okay? Because you chose to take out of our tradition at your wedding. So we can also tell you that that's not our tradition. What you're doing is your own, whatever you can call it. That's fair.
Do you know what? Yeah, you can do that. Like, that's fine.
Okay, how about
I genuinely
just
think
have
like
a traditional wedding. End of story.
No, I think that's ridiculous, and it's taken away from a person's cultural experience, whatever that is. Whether or not they have the full understanding of what the culture is, they're writing based off their own experiences, and because of the modern society that we live in, a lot of things have changed. So obviously, her beliefs that this is like attached to like feeling like I'm inferior to a man is obviously because society is changing to allow women to be more liberal and things like that.
But if she doesn't understand our culture. That's the thing. If she had understood what was behind her kneeling down and
but then you guys say this as if the Yoruba culture is this big like equal culture. Like it's not.
Nobody's saying that.
It's steeped highly in like misogynism.
So you want it to be equal?
Like, what, Toby? I can't even answer.
No.
The guy don't kneel down. He don't.
Wait, no, excuse me. So are you saying you want the Yoruba? I like the fact that she pinpointed on that whole Yoruba culture being equal. Because my question is, you're saying you want it to be equal for everything.
Hold your answer. We'll get her answer after the break. We'll be right back. I'm loving where this is going. Welcome back to ConvoTime. So before the break, we were talking about a little story that was on social media where a young lady had decided during her traditional marriage she was not going to kneel down for her husband. We got a lot of opinions on this, and Toby and I are quite fired up. I'll let you dive into it. You asked her a question just before the break, Toby. What did you ask?
Yeah, so my
she's got it for it.
Yeah. So my question is, you say you feel like the Yoruba culture is not it's not, what was the word? It's not equal. Mm-hmm. So you want it to be equal.
I want marriages to be equal, yes.
No, you say, okay, so you want marriages to be equal.
Yes.
With the
yes, I want people to be able to understand their culture and live in a modern society and to be able to balance everything on an equal playing field.
Okay, so now here's the thing, right? A lot of people don't, and that's why I feel like the biggest problem with our generation when it comes to the culture is we don't understand the importance of certain things. So we just think, it's this way, it's that way. Like, there are loads of women in like the Yoruba culture that are strong women. Today there's a river called River Oshun. Is it? Yeah, the wives of Shango. I'm not too sure where two rivers meet, and it's meant to be like hot water and cold water. Man, every year there's a festival for that river. Ikogosi? What?
Ikogosi.
I think I'm not too sure where it is.
It's in Ekiti,
yeah. And apart from that, in Ife, I believe there's a story of a woman who there was war back in those times, and basically there's so much historical story behind it, but that shows the power, the importance of women in our culture.
The Moremi.
Yeah, Moremi. For you to even think that my culture does not, give women that is very disrespectful to my culture.
Toby, you're talking about like historic things, which is fair enough.
Question for you, right?
Yes,
you're getting married.
Please. Pardon?
You're getting married and your husband says he doesn't want to prostrate to your family. You're gonna be like, that's okay.
Yeah. If you can tell me why, like, it doesn't bother me.
He feels like he doesn't have to bow to your parents. He's not gonna bow to anyone.
Okay, cool.
But bowing to them is a sign of respect.
It's no longer a traditional wedding. What you're doing is now ching-chong wedding.
I think the thing is, like, people feel like you have to be a certain way. And like maybe this is where I'm completely off of culture. Maybe that's where I'm completely off of it. But like, okay, maybe it's not like this traditional thing, but I feel like it's an evolution of tradition. Because like everything over time has happened because of one thing or another. And then if I want to continue my generation following this is a new tradition that I'm creating, then that's what it is. You can't say like because I don't do this one aspect of it that I'm no longer like within the culture.
So, but this is the thing you've just said. If this is a new tradition that you are creating, if you have created a new tradition, then you are no longer doing the original traditional wedding. In that sense,
this is one tradition in a whole traditional ceremony. So one tradition takes away the whole ceremony.
Understand the fact that it's not taking away the whole ceremony.
But that's what you're telling me.
You are taking out a core aspect of it that
symbolic,
will automatically symbolic. That will automatically diminish.
So how many symbolic things happen in the Yoruba traditional wedding?
There's several.
Okay, so if you say several, and I'm gonna say several is at least 4, 5 maybe.
No, more.
Probably more.
A symbolic one is like me disrespecting my friend's wife family by taking yam.
Okay, so there's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Different traditions have different.
Okay, so let's say there's 10. You take away 1. The majority of all of the other traditions are covered.
Okay.
So it's a traditional ceremony that involves different traditional aspects.
Yeah.
You take away one traditional aspect. Is it no longer the whole traditional ceremony is no longer traditional ceremony?
I see.
That's all I'm saying.
I get where you're coming from.
That's
right?
exactly what I'm saying.
But now that's where like it's like everything in life, right? If you don't do one thing, does it take out of it? Like a random example, right?
Things, yeah.
Is if you don't put meat in pie, is it called meat pie? You can question that. You can say it's just true. I can still call it meat pie. I can choose to call it meat pie.
Okay.
Because it looks like a meat pie, but there's no meat in it.
Bowing down to somebody is showing a sign of like submissiveness or whatever it is, or inferiority, you could say, is how this woman was seeing it.
She
should
chose
have been
to
educated.
Yeah, she didn't want to educate herself. That's why she chose to say it like that.
Mom, why do I have to kneel?
But she could have known why she had to kneel, but still felt like the symbolism that she understood it to mean was far more like, I don't know what word to use, but far more significant than what the culture was telling her this is what this means. But if she feels like this is more significant, this is really how I see it. I think it comes down then to like a personal thing that...
Yeah, and that's why everyone is saying you're allowed to have that personal opinion, but then you can't feel like, even though it's my personal thing, make that traditional, whatever you had, your personal thing. Don't call it what the majority call it.
So what would you expect her to call it? So she can't call her trad a trad because she's not doing one thing. So what would you expect her
It's
to call
no longer a trad. What she's doing
what should she call it?
Her own abbreviation of a traditional wedding.
So she should call her trad my abbreviation of a trad wedding.
Because that's why a lot of people have
let's be logical and let's be realistic. You think this girl is gonna say, actually, so instead of calling my traditional wedding a traditional wedding, I'm gonna say, sorry, this is the ab of the traditional
that
wedding.
Sounds a bit stupid, doesn't it?
But tell me it doesn't.
That's the same way her telling us that she doesn't want to kneel down sounds to us.
And that's fair enough, but that's cool. Like, I'm not saying
you agree that. So basically, because I feel like we're gonna have to agree to disagree.
I think we will.
Okay, actually, you know what? Before we do that, what was your traditional?
I was waiting for this. My traditional wedding was a traditional wedding.
Yeah.
And all aspects of a traditional wedding we abided by them.
Did you agree with all the traditions?
I did them.
Did you agree with them?
I didn't fully. There were some parts of it I did not fully understand, and because I didn't fully understand it yet, no matter how much they explained it to me, I wasn't about to fight it because I had a purpose, and that was to marry my husband. Whatever they wanted to do, this is a family thing. I was not interested in symbols or
it was your traditional wedding though.
For me, my understanding, my general understanding of a traditional wedding was it is the wedding for the family where they introduce the wife to the husband's family and they accept the bride as this is our daughter now. So I was like, whatever it takes for his family to accept me as the wife, because I want to be be part of this family, I'm gonna do it.
I
knelt down for my in-laws because for me, that was my way of showing I respect you. This is what you want me to do and what you will say. This is how we are receiving you. I did it.
I don't feel like a lot of people. I'm screaming. So what are you saying otherwise?
I will say it. For those who don't know what Beko is, she did not call her home training. Come and disrespect our tradition and now tell us that I'm going to do it. Yeah, I want to do.
Here's one thing, right? And I feel this is major to it. Kneeling down, in as much as it's symbolical to the traditional marriage on the day. If she is feeling that this is going to make her feel inferior to her husband, I'm sorry, I don't know why, because they are not asking you to kneel down on a daily basis.
You say you don't know why.
This is one part of the day.
But you say you don't know why, but she obviously does. So somebody that says, I'm not a drinker, I'm not a smoker, I'm strongly against these things because this is what I know, this is what I know. You're not going to ask them, do you know what, smoke this one cigarette for one day and they'll be like, oh, just because.
But smoking and drinking
that's a totally different topic.
No. Okay, yeah.
That is going to damage their health. This one thing that she's doing is not going to physically do anything to her.
Okay, might not physically do anything to her, but if she has set up her mental that this is something that I'm completely against and doing it will be harmful to my mental, then she's decided she doesn't want to do it. Like, she's not going to do it. She's not going to do it.
We're missing something very important here that you mentioned.
Okay.
You mentioned the whole idea of a traditional weddings where two families come together.
Exactly.
Right? So, that girl, that's why I say Kobeko. Because when you're kneeling for your husband,
I don't think that's right.
I say Africa, I can say it. You can say you have your opinion, but for me, the reason why I would say something like that is does she understand a traditional wedding, the importance of it? Like that's why can you just read that?
One more time.
I feel like I'm in church where the pastor is telling someone to read the Bible.
Read the Bible.
A tradition is a belief or behavior passed down within a group or society with symbolic meaning or special significance with origins in the past.
Sorry, read that part where it says group again one more time, sorry. It says group, it says group, right?
Passed down within a group.
It doesn't say from one person to another. See, group, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. The traditional wedding is group. It's not her wedding. It's not her.
But it's her wedding.
This is what I want you.
Group.
This is what I was trying to explain.
Families come together. They come together. Like, see, she explained.
That's what I was trying to explain. Listen, right?
The wedding would not be happening.
It's all their wedding.
Here's the thing.
I understand what you guys are saying as well, but I feel like anybody is free to alter any part of anything that they feel like goes against their intrinsic beliefs.
Hold up. So you said, if I'm not there, will the traditional go ahead? Let me tell you something. Yes, it will. Because the traditional, that's what I'm trying to say to you. Why I did it, it was not about me at all. It is the families. They are accepting me, yes, but if I'm not there, they will still go ahead. My auntie had her traditional wedding without her husband there. That is the husband.
Wow.
The person that is supposed to welcome the bride. Her husband was not at the traditional. They put a picture.
I'll be a picture and bring your picture.
This is the thing about it. She took it on a personal level that, I'm not gonna leave for my husband because I believe this. Honestly, it is not about you. You are doing the traditional because the family it's a family thing. If you don't want to do anything for the family that the family are going to understand and respect and say, okay, this girl understands our level of respect and our beliefs and our tradition. Sorry, it's, for example, you're asking another thing. You're asking about symbolism. Here's one for you. If the groom says, I'm not paying bride price because I'm not buying my wife or whatever, there's so many ways to do bride prices that now that bride price thing has evolved with tradition. Some traditions collect it and they hold on to it. Some families, it depends on the family. Yeah. But the tradition of bride price is still there. So if you do not give bride price, if you do not give bride price, I'm coming. If you do not give the bride price, full stop, I'm sorry, that is not a traditional
wedding. But how else
does
it happen?
Okay, how else does it happen? I was at a wedding and the father was like, he gave back the bride price. He said, my daughter is not up for sale.
So does that mean that that's not a traditional wedding?
No, you don't understand. Listen, you're not understanding. Wait, guys,
he didn't accept it because they gave him.
Listen,
he didn't accept. He said,
listen,
we're not selling our daughter.
This is
Did you hear what she said? Let me finish.
They're saying accepted. I need to correct them on something.
1 second.
Go on.
He didn't accept it. He denied the bride price. Said we're not selling our daughter. That goes against your definition of tradition. So therefore, that is not a traditional wedding.
Listen, wait, guys, wait. Let's understand this, right? The symbolism is not the acceptance. It is the giving the bride price.
Yeah, that's what you're missing.
So the acceptance is not what we're talking about.
It's not about
the father will collect. Listen, the father will collect it. That is the acceptance part. Now, what he chooses to do with it is up to him.
Yeah.
Giving it back to the family is not denying that
that's
he has
not
accepted
tradition,
it.
is it?
How is it not tradition?
No, because that's omitting. Listen,
you're not omitting anything. That's how it happens.
Okay, so you're changing what
no,
it is.
No, see what.
So it's not a traditional. Based off of everything you guys have said, this is not a traditional wedding because it's giving it back.
So explanation of what the bride price is. The family of the bride, of the groom, give an envelope or whatever it is, whatever they've claimed the bride price to be, the bride's family, give it to the bride's family and say, this is what you have requested. There's a list of a bride, all the things that the bride's family want. They hand it to the grooms and they have to give it back to the bride's family, right? Once the bride's family takes it, they do what they wish with it.
So what if they didn't write a list in the first place because they said our daughter is not for sale? That's not tradition. So therefore, does that mean that
there's no way they're not going to write? They're not going to write a list.
I'm glad you picked on that, and I feel like that is basically the problem with the whole situation of, this not kneeling and all. See, the whole idea of the bride price, right? They don't give back the yam and the goat and everything. It's the money part of it that the dad can say, and most people, they actually give it, like, I'm glad you mentioned that. Is it tradition when they give it back? Because what happens is they give it back to the groom's family, and then the groom's family actually now say, we'll give it to the children.
You don't know that for sure. That's
that happened on my wedding day.
Is it fast?
Okay. We can talk about.
Is that a traditional thing then? So they've gone from taking it to giving it away.
They still collected it.
Okay, can I just say one more thing?
Go on.
Because we're talking about the traditional wedding is a coming together of two families. Nobody in this room, on this panel, or elsewhere have been members of her family, and I don't understand why it's such a thing for other people, because both families clearly accepted it for it to happen. So why is everybody else talking about it?
Okay, on that note, we're going to leave it there. This has been a hot one, and I really, really, really want to hear from you guys. What do you think? I'm hot. All our social medias are rolling at the bottom of the screen. Please, please, please comment. Tell us what you think. If you have been traditionally married, how did yours go? What did you do? Did you change anything? Did you put anything in? Did you take anything out? Let us know what you think. This has been ConvoTime, and we'll see you soon.